Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Addie, and today we are going to be discussing my 5-star predictions. All of these predictions are already on my shelves, and kind of what sparked this video was I had just finished The Will of the Many. Nothing else feels like it's gonna hit for me ever again, really. That book was so good. And I feel like I've noticed that I get that feeling every single time I finish a 5-star read. I'm like, I completely forget that I have any other books on my shelves. I go book shopping. I'm like, I have nothing. I need to find the next 5-star read. My shelf is probably full of 5-star reads. It's not probably, it is full of 5-star reads because I have too many books. Today's video is to tell you what books are immediately on my radar that I think I'm going to love, and for me to remind myself that I have books on my shelves that I don't need to go buy more. The first book that I think is going to be a 5-star read is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This book is described as a love letter to books, and if there's one thing I know about myself is that I love any books that are about books. I always absolutely adore them. Everything I've heard about this book just seems like something I'm gonna love. First off, the love letter to books. People described it kind of like being in a dream, which I love, like whimsical, lyrical books like that. It's about this boy, Zachary, who is in a library, and he stumbles upon a book and starts reading it and realizes that like it's a book written about his life. So I'm very excited. The reason I haven't gotten into this one is because I think it gives winter, and I just feel like I need to be in the right space. I feel like it needs to align with the season to like fully get the cozy book vibes. I think this book is giving like January, so it might be a while till I get to it, but I do think I'm gonna love it. I'm ecstatic to get to this, and I just think I'm going to absolutely adore it. The next book that I think is gonna be a 5-star read is a romance, and it is This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. If you've been in watching my channel since day one, I think it's my first reading vlog that I ever did actually. It's reading the highest and lowest rated books on Goodreads that I have in my TBR. And the highest book was the first one of this series. I think it's Before I Let Go, or Before I Go. I'm forgetting what the first one's called, but it was so long ago. But I rated it 5 stars. It was the highest rated book, and for very good reason. It was just so good. Like, it was so much more than a romance. It was a second chance romance between this couple who had gone through one of the worst things that you could possibly go through in your life together. Their relationship just couldn't survive it. It's kind of less a romance and more like it focused on the romance. It also focuses on grief and healing. It felt very realistic. I just couldn't put it down. It was so good. I read it like in my room start to finish. It was so good. And this is the second one about one of the main characters in the first one's friends, and I just love Kennedy Ryan's writing, and I think it goes so much more than a romance, which I tend to really enjoy. And she destroyed me in the first one. I was devastated. I'm really excited to get to this. I'm excited to see if I like it as much as I liked the first one. The next book I have is Anxious People by Frederick Backman. Really think this is gonna be 5 stars. Like, I don't see this being anything but 5 stars. I read the Beartown series this year, and I finished The Winners, and I did what I always do. I go to Barnes after a 5-star read, and I bought another book by this author. And I have no regrets about that, actually, because I love Frederick Backman now. Like, his writing is so unlike anything I've ever read before. The way he writes his characters makes me so invested, and the way he like doesn't just like tell you a story. He shows you a story. And this is like the one I heard the most things about. I feel like it might be his, like, I don't know, is it wrong to say this is like his biggest most hyped up book? I don't know, I feel like I've heard the most about this. So the first like little part of this chapter is a bank robbery, a hostage drama, a stairwell full of police officers on their way to storm an apartment. It was easy to get to this point, much easier than you might think. All it took was one single really bad idea. That's too, I love how he does that. I love how like he kind of, like he did this in Beartown too. He tells you how it's gonna end before you get there. And then I forget about it and I'm like, oh yeah, like I forgot about this. Also, this is so different than Beartown, so I'm excited to see like a very different story for him. So I'm excited to get to this. I very much see this being a 5-star read. The next book is also a familiar author for me. It is The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery by Gabrielle Zevin. I read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow last year for a class actually, and I ended up really loving it, and I was shocked that I loved it as much as I did. it was like about video games, and I'm not super into video games. I mean, I play Animal Crossing every now and then, but like, am I like a gamer? No. But this one seems like it might even be more up my alley. I think he runs a bookstore. We have more books about bookish settings, so this one's even more kind of geared towards me. So it's about this guy, AJ Vickery, and he owns a bookstore, but his rare collection of Poe poems have been stolen. But when a mysterious package appears at the bookstore, its unexpected arrival gives Vickery the chance to make his life over and see everything anew. So I'm very excited to get to this. I love her storytelling. I think her writing is amazing as well. She gets into topics that are deeper than meets the eye. Like you may be thinking, like, how deep can video games be, right? Like, it was such a genius social commentary on like class, racism, sexism, like in the gaming industry. And I was like, oh my god, this is like it was phenomenal. I'm really excited to see how I feel about the storied life of AJ Vickery, see if my love for that book translates over, and kind of see what she does with a different turn, different spin on her usual style. So I'm excited. The next book I see as a 5-star read is The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. I'm starting to see a pattern in my own thinking. All of these books, not Starless Sea, but all of these books mostly have been authors that I've previously loved. Which I guess makes sense, because like I know I love them already, but makes me wildly predictable. But this one I definitely think is going to be 5 stars for me. I really loved her other book, House of Hollow. It was super eerie, super spooky, such an amazing like Halloween read, and I think this is going to be another amazing Halloween read. I might read it for like summerween, or I feel like I don't need to wait until Halloween for this one, so this one might come up this summer, but I would really like to get to it soon. It says 3 girls, 1 supernatural killer on the loose, and I just really like the way she writes like spooky supernatural stuff. Like, she can write an atmosphere, a spooky atmosphere, and she does it well. And her supernaturals are really interesting. Like in House of Hollow, like I literally have never read anything like it. So I'm really excited to see how I feel about The Invocations. I think it takes place around on Halloween, which we all know is my favorite. So I'm super excited to get reading The Invocations, and I definitely will read this when I'm in the mood for a spooky read. And that'll probably be soon. I'm always in the mood for a spooky read. And she does like the whole like 3 girls thing really well too. I always love her dynamics with the 3 girls. So very, very excited to get to this. The next book that I really, really believe is going to be 5 stars is another familiar author. It's The Sword of Kaigon by M.L. Wang. Listen, I read Blood over Brighthaven a couple months ago. That was not a 5-star read. And this is the first familiar author that has not been a 5-star read, but I think this one will be. And I really liked Blood over Brighthaven. I thought it was a great read. It just wasn't 5 stars. But I do love her way of writing fantasy, and I can see that now with how much I enjoyed that book. And this one seems much more geared to what I'm interested in for a fantasy. Well, first off, it's described as the Poppy Wars darkness meets the Last Airbender's elemental magic. I love both of those pieces of media, so very excited. I think this one is going to be much more like high stakes, high fantasy. Blood over Brighthaven was high fantasy, but it was kind of like more focused on like the magic system and all that, which was super interesting, and I really loved it, and like society and all that. I think this one I'm gonna get some fighting, and I'm gonna get some like battle. Also, it's much longer. I feel like she's really gonna get some time to cook and build a little bit more in this one, which I feel like Blood over Brighthaven needed. So I'm really, really excited to get to this one. I've heard really phenomenal things. Another author I love, Donna Tartt, and this is The Goldfinch. I've had this on my TBR for so long. My mom got me this book when the movie came out, but it's genuinely so intimidating. Like, it's huge. It's almost 800 pages, but I love myself Donna Tartt. I love her writing. I love The Secret History. Like, when I think dark academia, which I love dark academia, like that's like my god tier for dark academia. Very, very excited. So one day I'm going to get to her other work. It's going to happen. Is that day going to be soon? Probably not. It might be this summer if I get really, really bold. You guys need to like peer pressure me into reading it and putting it on my summer TBR. But I'm not even sure it's about. I like refuse to see the movie even though I wanted to. I think this one is set in New York, and it's about this boy who's orphaned and he's taken in by like a wealthy Park Avenue family. Then it follows him as an adult where he moves between the antique store he works, the drawing rooms of the rich, and the underworld of art. The Secret History was about like pretentious small liberal arts college in the Northeast. It is giving pretentious like art dealers in Brooklyn. I'm excited. I think I'm really going to like it. I love her writing. It scares me, but I do think it's gonna be 5 stars when I finally like do pull myself together and read it. The last 2 books, I promise, are authors I've never read, but this one is not. It is Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna. I love Kristen Hanna. All 3 books I read by her have been 5 stars. Nightingale, The Great Alone, and now Firefly Lane. So she's just on a streak. I think I'm gonna love every book that she ever writes. But this is another one where I have to wait until winter. I've missed my chance. We're in April now. But this one is another World War II, which Nightingale is my all-time favorite. So I'm excited to get more like World War II from her. But it's World War II Russia during that time, and then I think telling her daughter that story in like 2000. So I think it's like kind of split view from like her memories in Russia and now modern day Alaska. She loves her Alaska. So I'm so excited to get to this. I mean, she has never not given me a 5-star read. She has a very good track record for giving me 5-star reads. So I have a really good feeling about this one. And then finally, a new author, but I do think this is going to be a 5-star read, is The 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin. I mean, it's the winner of a Hugo Award. Who am I to argue with Hugo? So also, I've heard this book be described as like people's all-time favorite fantasy. We all know I love myself a high fantasy, so when I see multiple people saying this is their all-time favorite, like that's a bold thing to say, that it's your all-time favorite fantasy. I had to get it. This one also seems like something I'm really gonna enjoy too, because it's kind of giving like Lord of the Rings, kind of Game of Thrones maybe. Also, I read the first page of it when I was in the store and I'm automatically like gripped. Like it just pulls you in. It says prologue, you are here, and then it says, let's start with the end of the world. Why don't we? Get it over with and move on to more interesting things. I love when like authors kind of break that fourth wall a little bit. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you a story. I just love that. It feels like I'm like connected with it. I don't know. I've always enjoyed that. Like, you are here. It's like, oh, you're calling me out? You're talking to me? Oh, I haven't read this part. This makes me think I'm gonna like it even more. Like this little like blurb at the front. It says, this is what you must remember. The ending of one story is just the beginning of another. This has happened before after all. People die, old orders pass, new societies are born. When we say the world has ended, it's usually a lie, because the planet is just fine. But this is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends for the last time. I'm so intrigued. Like, truly, I just think I'm gonna love it. And I love myself high fantasy. I've heard amazing things. I'm gripped from the first few pages. The signs are looking up. Then my last book on my list is kind of like a red herring. Like, it's a little different than what I would usually say, but it's Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. I don't know why. I just, like, looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you so much. And I've heard people say, like, this is their favorite book of 2024. And again, bold claims. This one's described as a charming, witty, and compulsively readable exploration of friendship, reckoning, and hope that traces of a widow's unlikely connection with the giant Pacific octopus. All I know about it is that it is about a woman's friendship with an octopus. I cannot tell you how much that intrigues me. Like, I think that is the most unique premise I've ever heard, and I think I'm going to absolutely fall in love with this story. Like, it's just, like, quirky enough to work, and I am so intrigued. Again, I've heard I'm so easily influenced. Like, truly the easiest influenced girl in the world, maybe. That's an exaggeration, but I am very easily influenced. I heard a lot of people say this is their favorite book of 2024. Not that many people can be wrong, so I'm very excited to get to this. Also, how did I forget to mention this? Part of it, or if not all of it, is told in the perspective of the octopus. 5 stars for creativity and innovation. Like, who can think of this? I'm so excited to hear a story told by an octopus. Come on, that sounds so good. Very excited to get to her. I think this summer, because it's like in the sea and stuff, I think this will be a good summer read. So I'm feeling like I'm gonna get to this pretty soon. So these conclude the last of my 5-star predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. I am really happy I did this. It got me excited about my own books again. Sometimes I get into like a really bad, like weird mindset where like I feel like I need to constantly buy more. I have nothing to read, and I don't know why I feel like that. It's like consumerism and capitalism like getting to me, I guess. I need to remember that I have books that excite me, and this is just 10 of the books on my shelf, and there's so many more that I think I'm going to absolutely love, and I'm really happy that I did today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what other videos you would like to see from me down below. If you like me or my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I hope you guys have such a fabulous week, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!